Hey, you guys, you're going to want to listen all the way through this episode because we've got not news about how Dave Mustaine feels about his time in Metallica and what they did to rip him off. You've heard it before, you'll hear it again.
You're also going to find out why Bobby Brown embraced a mistake that basically changed the face of hip-hop for several years. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Hey, y'all. Trying to keep a little bit country.
Country's the new...
Because I'm on vacation, so I'm just trying to be a little chillaxo.
I like it. Sharon,
Yes.
A 2-week vacation for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm on vacation from the work, not the passion project that this 90's now is.
We should get, I say
Paid?
this, but we should get matching tattoos, Sharon, for...
Ooh.
You have tattoos, I don't. So this is more of a leap for me.
This would be one of those. Sharon, you go first and we'll see how it looks. And I've changed my mind. And then suddenly I've got a 90's now tattoo on my forehead.
Yeah. Like Justin Bieber. Actually, quick sidebar before you tell what this show's about this week. I had a significant other when I lived in Toronto, and she actually, as a birthday gift one year, bought me like a gift cert to get a tattoo.
Wow,
And
she knew you well, eh?
Yeah, because I that's why we're not together. Because I had mentioned several times that I was like, yeah, I should get one and like whatever. And then to this day, it has not been redeemed. So,
well, it'll be interesting to see if it does ever happen to your precious little temple. Because once you get one, it's like, what's my next one going to be? That's what happens to.
How many do you have?
Most of the people that I know, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I had 2 separate ones on each of my forearms, and then I had the song lyrics put on top of each. And so that's technically a brand new tattoo, even though it completes the picture of each.
Got it.
Do
you have one on your ankle?
I do. That was my second one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I still have some
real estate.
That's what I was looking for. Real estate. Yeah. There's certain places on one's body I don't think that you're supposed to get a tattoo, just if, you allow for weight gain or loss. Legit. And certainly the older that you get as a person, especially a woman, it becomes unattractive because you lose that youthful elasticity of your skin. So the intention of your sassy and tight tattoo turns into a saggy sack of something,
Yeah.
Anyways, this is your tattoo tutorial for 90's now. Still happening.
Yeah.
Cal, for today, we're going to talk about Bobby Brown's hair and how unintentional it was. We're going to talk about Metallica and how Dave Mustaine, original member of Metallica, who went on to form Megadeth, had a huge career, still complains about his time in Metallica and what they did or didn't do with or without his music.
Yeah.
And not to blow the secret, but anybody who knows Dave Mustaine, you know that we're going to be talking about what he's complaining about, what they did with his music. Wambulance. We're also going to take care of some trivia because we started off feeling good about ourselves, and trivia will just level that right down in a fun way, right?
Yeah.
And your 90's rewind will take us to the very end, the last summer of our favorite decade, or the beginning of the last summer, to around this time in 1999. But Kel, since we gave a bunch of time to Mariska Hargitay a couple of shows ago, we have got an update on that. And the original was that, give us a little breakdown about what, I can't remember what I did 2 minutes ago, let alone 2 shows ago. So it was about one of the cast members that wasn't kept on, right?
Really goodish. Yeah. Her character is, I think it's Lieutenant, but it's Amanda Rollins is the character name.
Right.
And so you and I had talked about, because, I'm a pretty big fan of the show. I haven't been able to watch it as much consistently in the last few seasons, but I always tape it every week, like all that
On your
stuff. And I'm a
VCR?
on my VCR, yeah. And I have been a massive fan of Kelly Giddish, who plays Amanda Rollins. So I was devastated back when I guess it's like at least 2 seasons ago, 2 to 3 seasons ago, they decided to take her off. And it came to light a bit after, because I guess she couldn't say it at the time. I don't think she could say it at the time. Mariska was like, I did not want them to take her off the air. Like, I wanted her to stay on the show. And she's like, this is when I learned that I don't have as much power as I would have thought I might have had. And she wasn't saying that in a like an ego way. It was
Hmm.
just like kind of like I think it was a because like I can't imagine her having an ego. Like I can't imagine
Yeah.
Mariska having an ego. But she intoned that like she had done everything in her power to keep Kelly, and the powers that be were like, no, I guess they wanted to really shake up the cast. So then she's been off. They have had her come on a few times over the last few seasons because it's such a loss having her gone.
Right.
Thankfully, they didn't kill the character. And now we have good news. Maybe we manifested it, Sharon.
I'm pretty sure that we did
Yeah.
because just to the quote that comes from Mariska Hargitay, and that the realization that she might not have the power that she thought she had, is her quote, which is uh, that she's been reinstated, that Madame Giddish has been reinstated,
Hmm.
but she said, is so purely joyful to me. She is a formidable actress and an incredibly creative partner, and has been such a joy and a huge part of the fabric of SVU. I love her, and I love acting with her and co creating with her, and it feels like home with her. So I'm ecstatic about her return. Like, talk
Perfect.
about, like, obviously, not everybody gets along. I can't say obviously everybody gets along. Not everybody does. But when you have the support of your cast behind you like that,
Hmm.
what a great feeling it must be for her to return.
Yeah, I'm over the moon, overjoyed, and like I just hope SVU keeps going. Like keeps
Mhm.
going for I think this will be is it season 24 or 25 coming up? I think it's 24 because I think 25 they would have made a bigger deal about it, but yeah, I think it's season
Right.
24 coming up. So it's just amazing to have her back. And I think she said at the time when this all went down, or at least in the months following, she has said, Mariska, that her character Benson and Rollins, I think she said, and I'm paraphrasing, it's the most important relationship on the show.
Huh.
And so, and I guess in her opinion, and
Right.
I don't doubt that, especially like, in the roles that they're playing of these two tough cops, like the whole thing, their characters have been through the ringer and in multiple avenues, if you will. And so I thought that was very telling for Mariska to say like that's her most important character, like
Hmm.
relationship on that show is Benson and Rollins. Like, when do you ever see two females getting that kind of recognition, you know?
Well, interesting when you think about the powers that be,
Hmm.
that it's sort of like an old school mentality that you could see someone saying, well, let's blow it up.
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe they concur. Maybe they think it is the most important relationship
Hmm.
on that show. And there is that mentality of, well, let's blow it up and see what happens. And
Yep.
thankfully they didn't kill the character off, because
Yep.
I'm sure, I don't even watch the show with any sense of regularity,
Hmm.
that that the return, and maybe that was part of the deal too, that they unloaded her, see what would happen so that they could have a triumphant return heading into the 25th season.
I hope so. Is that what it is, Sharon? Is it the 25th season coming up?
I just was going with what you said.
Okay.
So
I
say
think
it with confidence, Kel, and they'll believe you.
maybe. I think it might be 24, but they're coming close because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure this was the 23rd season that just went through. So 2024, I think, is what's coming. But regardless, it's been on forever. And like, you never not want to see Mariska on the air. Like, she's such a presence, you know? So,
It started in 1999.
got it.
So she's Olivia Benson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, maybe this
1999.
is like season 26 then, maybe coming up, right? Or whatever. 26 or 27?
So much
God,
to know.
27 seems far though. Anyways, it's one of those.
Yeah.
It's like when they count Survivor and they're like season 49 is coming up and it's like
Like, no, it's not. It says
yeah.
number of seasons 26. So
So they're at 26 or just finished 26?
it just says total
Oh,
seasons
I
26.
guess so. Yeah, well, if you said 99, so we're in 25. Anyways, that's all good. It's a banner amount of years, that's for sure. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And good for them.
Yep.
And I mean that genuinely, not in the way when I say good for you when I'm trying to tell somebody to do something else. I'm genuinely happy for them.
Yep.
If you know, you know.
Yep.
So GFY, that's I'm just gonna break it down for you right there. Good for you. Anyways, Kel,
Yep.
I would like to go 2 for 2 instead of 0 for 2 with trivia. So yes, I am ready for some trivia. Are you?
Bing bong.
I'll take that as a
Yeah,
yes.
that's my favorite thing to say all week. Bing bong.
Bing
Yep.
bong. Bing bong.
Bing bong. So here we go. Hobbies, toys, and games, Sharon, or sport to start?
Uh Sport to start.
Here we go. Um, here's a name for you. I'm gonna guess he's German in advance.
Oh, brother.
Ludger Bierbaum won a gold medal at the 1992 Olympics in which sport? Ludger Bierbaum.
Hammer throw. Hammer throw.
You're never gonna
Shot
get this.
put.
You're never gonna get this. Can I give you one more
Beer
hint?
guzzler.
Can I,
Yes.
can I give you one more hint? So it wasn't a solo, um, like it wasn't a solo achievement, if you will.
He was on a
He
team.
had a teammate, but the
Was it
teammate
the
didn't win the
sculling,
medal.
the rowing? Rowing.
No.
I don't know.
Show jumping.
Oh, his teammate was his horse. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Oh, giddy up to that,
Yeah.
kid. That's
Can you
nice.
imagine? That's a great name. Ludger Bierbaum.
What was the horse's name? There's bonus fact if you bonus points if you know that one.
Maybe it was 24 pack. I don't know. Or is it a 12 pack? I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. 12 pack, 12 pack.
Oh, because he's beer bomb, right?
Yeah.
You
Imagine
just need
his
you just
last name
need
is Beer
one.
Bong instead of Beer Bomb.
You just need actually don't need one. You need two to put one on each side of your helmet
Yeah.
funnel.
All
Oh, the
right.
Olympics.
Hobbies, toys, and games. Oh, just quick sidebar. I just
Mhm.
had a video come up in my feed. I think it was my Facebook feed. It was from this year, I believe it was, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a dressage guy. Like, so he has his horse and they do that, the dancey stuff, like,
Yep.
and they did it to hip hop. And I think
Nice.
they said in the video it was one of the first times that like a dressage writer was going to use it because they always use like, classical music. It's all like fancy stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they used, was it Jay-Z? It was a Jay-Z song, I think. And it was crazy to watch the horse doing their thing to hip hop beats. So
Fun.
yeah, check that out if you want. YouTube it. Here we go. Hobbies, toys, and games. Which country banned Power Rangers from TV in the 90s due to violence, despite the fact that many episodes were filmed there?
Italy.
Italy?
Yeah, why not?
No. And
Uh,
not anything in Asia,
Not anything in Asia. I
but a
should have
country
started with
not that far from there, probably.
Thailand
New Zealand.
or New Zealand.
Yeah,
One or the other, or whichever the right answer is. New Zealand, you say?
I do. Oh, for two.
Yeah, you know what though, Kel? If I were to turn the card tables on you, you wouldn't have got it either. So I
Not at
don't feel so
all.
bad about myself.
Yeah, not at all. I was gonna actually say, because like, is it, oh my God, why is it the Philippines or something where you're not allowed to chew gum? It's one of those.
Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah,
So that,
because if you litter the gum, you're going to jail.
yeah, that's it. That's why I thought it might have been like a country like that because of already having strict rules if you can't chew gum.
Super strict.
Yeah,
I don't chew gum enough to miss it or to be like offended by that rule.
yeah.
But if you give me a minute, I could find some
I
way to
used
be
to love chiclets.
offended. Same. And you know what? My mouthwash is Tom's of Maine. Also my toothpaste. I know I'm really sharing,
Yeah.
but Tom's of Maine, the mouthwash tastes like blue chiclets.
Really?
Do you remember blue chiclets?
Oh, that's great.
I'm choking, getting choked
You're
up
so
over it.
excited.
They were yellow. They were all white chiclets, unless you got that rainbow pack, then they were
That's that, that was my
colorful.
jam.
Totally. I remember when I was little in for Halloween, you get like the little 2-pack. Love that.
Love that.
But like my mother, I remember she would buy the yellow or
Yep.
the green or the blue sometimes. And my mouthwash, I remember tried it for the first time a couple of years ago, and every time I use it, I'm like super happy about it because it tastes like the past
Yeah.
and gives me fresh breath.
That's nice. I
So,
had a chiclet obsession with the
what was
colored pack.
your jam? Oh yeah,
Oh my God. I like, because you used to be able to buy them. I don't think they make chiclets. And do they still make chiclets?
yep, they
Oh, that's
do.
great. You used to be able to buy them at Costco. So you could get like whatever for like 12 bucks. You had like 97 packs or whatever it was.
Oh, nice.
So I used to have like a severe obsession with chiclets, and it's now been 12 years since I've chewed gum.
Wow,
I had to
impressive.
give it up. I had to give it up because I had a neck problem in 2013, and my osteopath at the time was like, uh, "You have to stop. You have to stop.
Wow.
Like it's not helping your TMJ, like all that stuff." And so
Hmm.
he's like, "You need to stop." And I couldn't believe it, but I did it. The minute he told me, he's like, "You can't." I stopped cold turkey, and that was huge for me because I love
So
gum.
you took out your big chunk of big
Yeah.
league chew from your mouth and went, okay.
Yeah, so I was so sad though. I love gum, but I stopped and I never went back. Even though my neck thing is better, thank God, but I was like
Yeah, don't
not
go
taking
back.
any chances. So,
I mean, gum is great and everything, but it's not great for your gums.
yeah.
Like it's the chewing that puts strain on your gums
Yeah.
eventually. And if you are prone to having like receding gum line, then that's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Really, how old do I sound? I have a chiclet memory from being in CJEP. So at the age of like, I don't know, 18, and I was leaving, got my stuff from my locker, and I was walking to go to the bus and had tons of stuff in my hands, and I had a package of chiclets, and there was like one or two left. And remember it now that when you buy chiclets, it's in one of those like foil things that you push through.
Yeah.
Then it was just a cardboard package that had like 12 or 16 pieces in the pack.
Hmm.
And there was one stuck at the bottom. So I remember like I put the box in my mouth and I blew so that it would like puff it
Yeah.
up a little bit and loosen it. And in blowing, it made like a sound. And 18 years old, you really feel super confident. No, as you're walking through a crowd of your peers with a thing like a horn coming out of your mouth, going, "Yeah, it was me. Thanks." All right, got my chiclets.
I
You
used to
get
do
a
that just for fun, blow that thing up to make a
yeah,
noise.
yeah, yep.
Just not in a crowd of 18-year-olds.
No, no. Confidence builder, character builder.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
Speaking of peers, he has never really shied away from saying what's on his mind, especially when it comes to his time with Metallica,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, which is the band that he was in before Megadeth. And Megadeth, huge, very
Yeah.
successful, but he was dismissed from Metallica just before their debut album in 1983. So what he is claiming, not just now, I think I've heard this from him before, but uh, he was interviewed recently. He's 63 years old now. So imagine if he's 63 in 2025 and 1983 was 42 years ago. That makes him 21, right?
Mhm.
He still admits that he left ticked off, he used another word, after the band used his riffs, despite him telling them, don't you use my music.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, he said he was asked a few questions about whether or not it was his drinking that got him let go from the band, and he said we all drank. That's why they called it Alcoholica. They didn't call it Dave Alcoholica. He says we
Yeah.
all drank, and they continued to drink like that even after I was gone. But that was the beginning of the end. He said he had shared that he had left Metallica with a tape of his riffs, and then went on to say just me playing and playing and playing, and we took that tape player and the reel of tape with us out to New York. He said we did 2 shows there, and after those shows, they woke me up one morning and said, "Look, you're out of the band." So he said, "What are you talking about? You're out of the band." Like, no second chance, no warning, no nothing. Um, but that when he left, he said, "Do not use my music." And he said, "And of course they did," which
Yeah.
is super sour grapes because I think, is there a way to know? Do these cassettes still exist? I wouldn't be surprised if they did use his riffs and build on those. Um, but if it means that much to him, and it seems to, I would love to see him sort of, you know,
But you know what's
there's I
funny to me is when I saw the story, I just was like, when is he going to let this go?
well, how do you let
Because,
it go though?
but,
That's
well,
I
it's just,
totally agree with you, but I wonder how.
well, I don't know if he needs to talk to the boys of Metallica because also at the end of that interview that you're talking about, he
Yep.
also slagged Kirk Hammett again. You know what I mean? And it's like not necessary.
Well, not this many years later. It's not like they built their whole career on a cassette of Dave Mustaine just playing and playing and playing.
Yeah.
They had to continue to exist
Yeah. And it's just like,
and create and
it's just like, it's, I don't know, on some level, it seems super, I don't know what, like, is it petty? It's just like, it's like, I don't, like, if it did happen, then like it sucks. But the fact that he's holding on to this 40 years later, that's not good for Dave Mustaine. You know what I mean?
no.
Like it's not because I was surprised when I saw that. I was like, I checked to see if it was actually a new interview because I'm like, he's been going on about this forever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, when are you gonna either come to peace with it or request a meeting with these dudes, have at it, let them have it, and then feel better about life? I don't know, but
But I
because
think they've had that meeting. I think they've had conversations and I think they have dealt with it. So I don't understand why this I also, like you, don't understand why this is news
yeah.
because even if in a 21-year-old case scenario of
Hmm.
4 dumb guys, they're like, yeah, well, let's use them. The riffs are right there. They're pretty good. Is he a virtuoso player? Is he that good? Or like you still have to build on that momentum. So this many years later, 42 years later, they're long past that, their
Yeah.
very beginning. So, what are you saying exactly?
Yeah.
Like, well, actually, what he is saying exactly is that he wrote the riffs that made them.
But then you look at like, Enter Sandman and stuff like that. That came way after he was there.
It
You know?
came almost, what was it, like 8 years after?
Yeah, so it's like, and I'm just obviously that's like just like one example, but they've had like a ton of other songs
Yeah.
that have done super successful with that. So it's just, I don't know, like at this point, Dave Mustaine kind of looks like it's embarrassing. Like
Well, because
just,
it takes the shine right off of Megadeth, who did
yeah,
very well. Like
yeah,
both of those bands could peacefully coexist. There was enough room for both of them
mm-hmm,
in the world of heavy metal without question.
yeah.
And
And it's
still
just,
is. So I agree with you. I don't understand what are you croaking about? Like
yeah,
it's
because it just,
done, man.
it's not a good look for him. Like this doesn't
No.
reflect on Metallica anymore. Like they don't keep weighing in on this. You know what I mean? Like they've let the river go down the stream, and
What?
he
Have they
keeps
now?
they have. You're welcome. I'm slightly sleep deprived.
I'm getting that.
So yeah, I just it's hard because I think I read. Didn't Dave have a book? I think I read Dave's book. Did Dave have a book? I think
Wow, it's possible.
I read some. Anyways, so I just I just want him to like let it go, like
Mhm.
Frozen, so that he can because it can't be like he's 63. This happened when he was 21.
He's
Like
affecting his own legacy because if
yeah,
what are we to remember him for?
yeah, that's it. It's just I don't
Moaning
know.
and groaning?
And also like I really didn't like that line where he's slagging on Kirk again. Like it's
Yeah,
just it's like all these like come on now. Like it doesn't I don't know. It doesn't it's not a good look for Dave.
I agree with you.
So I just
Agreed.
yeah, so he needs to go to therapy or something. He needs to
Yeah,
figure this out.
yeah, agreed. So let's jump from Dave Mustaine and riffs to Bobby Brown and haircuts.
Yeah. Did you like that?
He, I do.
Yeah.
That we could play charades and I would know that you were talking about
His
his high
hair.
top fade and the
Yeah.
zigzag and all that. So
Yeah.
this was an accident.
Yeah, so his haircut that was like became super popular back in the early 90s that like so many people copied. What
Yep.
happened, Sharon?
Where'd I go? Am I gone?
No, no, you're there. I was just asking for you to explain like
Oh,
the
I see what you're
accident.
saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm unclear on the accident.
Well, the accident sounds like he was getting his hair cut and he turned when the barber was gonna do a move, and so out came the slanted fade. And so,
ah,
and then the barber, it sounds like, was gonna like quote unquote fix it, like because of this. And then Bobby was like, no, like keep it. And then it literally became like a fashion staple. And everybody, every guy, remember Kid and Play? Like all these people
yeah.
had these amazing, like, fades and high tops. So, good for Bobby for keeping the mistake.
Well, it's funny too. I was just wanting to find the original article that we read. I love that they, you know, the signature slanted fade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, because it is exactly that. It's a signature to who he was, to like I just think of the My Prerogative video. I'm just like I've gone back in time to that whole
Remember even Vanilla Ice had one?
yes.
Like his version of it, like, and then MC Hammer had like his version of it.
I
Yeah,
wonder if Bobby Brown misses that
I
fade.
wonder.
His
I
hair
have to
choice
say,
today is slightly less than,
yeah, I have to say,
meaning there's less hair.
yeah, I have to say that it's incredible the turnaround Bobby has done with his life.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. Like I just, and I heard him recently speaking in an interview, and he's just like, I don't know, like, 'cause he's had a lot to deal with. He lost his, he lost Whitney, even though they weren't together. He lost his daughter,
Hmm.
had to go through all of those months of catastrophe while she was, unconscious and all that stuff, or in a
He had
coma.
lost another child too,
Yes,
hadn't
and
he?
then he lost his son just a few years
His
ago
son.
to, I believe it was an overdose.
Yeah.
So he's had a lot, not to mention his own addiction issues.
Yep.
Um, and the fact that he has like a food brand now, he's still touring with New Edition. He had like that he had that reality show for a bit.
I like that show.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I really obviously like he takes a lot of credit. There's no question to turning his life around. I think his wife has been great for him.
I
Like
agree with you.
she really, from what we saw on the reality show, like she really seems to be an anchor for him.
Hmm.
And he's also gotten therapy. Like it's just I if there was one person that I would have thought would have not climbed out of the hole from what we knew in the past,
Yep.
it would have been him. And he's managed to do it, and he seems to be like a good dad to his kids that he has, and yeah, so my hat's off to him, really.
What I love that also that he's embraced his emotions. He's cries openly.
Hmm.
And as he should. I mean, all the things that we've just said that he's endured are going to make you cry. So
Hmm.
that he processes his emotions. He's a communicator, and his wife obviously a solid undercurrent for him.
Hmm. Hmm.
I love also that for um, being in New Edition, and I think it was at the beginning, and we talked about it when it happened a couple of years ago, that um, he realized I got to pull this together, and they kind of told him, "Hey, listen, we're like here, and you got to catch up
Yeah.
physically, like exercise, get a level of fitness that'll have you able to sustain what we're trying to do here.
Hmm.
It's not out of the question that we should be able to do it, but you've got some work to do, so get the work done and let's go." And
Hmm.
it seems like he's done it, which is great.
Yeah, and like yeah, and a credit too, I think, to the band for being with him and like embracing him back, and so because they're all together, they're all back doing it, and also I follow most of them on social media, and I have to say Ronnie DeVoe also needs a shout out. He's always like, from what I see, just very positive, very thankful for the success that he's had. He loves his kids and his wife, and obviously, I know that it's, excuse me, public facing. Like you don't know what's going on behind someone's closed doors. But the fact that he's so positive all the time, I
Hmm.
appreciate Ronnie DeVoe.
Are you choking?
Kind of.
Are you gonna be okay?
But don't worry, I've tried forever grapefruit, so I'm gonna be it's gonna be great.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your 90s rewind?
I am Sharon. I'm ready for this.
Well, get ready, buckle up, because here
Okay.
we go. We're going back to the beginning of summertime, 1999. And let me tell you, a scrub is a guy that ain't gonna love from me. And I don't want no scrubs. Scrub is a guy that ain't gonna no love from me. Yeah, no scrubs, Kel.
No
Near the
scrubs.
top of the charts around this time from our favorite trio, or one of them,
Yeah.
TLC. How about 702?
702.
A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. There we go.
Yeah.
I knew it would come. 702, where my girls at?
Yo.
We're right here.
Yeah.
One more female on the list. Because I think, toot toot our own horn. One of the things we hear is that the world needs more Canada right now. So, Shania Twain,
Go, girl.
that don't impress me much
Yeah.
because you're Canadian. That's why.
A.
Sugar Ray, and every morning. How about that?
Love it.
There's something very sing-alongable about that song and also chillaxing at the same time.
It's true.
Thank you. How about Tim McGraw with the first single from his fifth album, which ended up being his highest charting top 40 song?
Nice.
So crossover success for that country superstar.
Yeah.
The song got to number 10 in the top 40 on Billboard's Hot 100. It was Please Remember Me. And a guy named Everlast, giving us like a real look at
Mm-hmm.
life, or at a life that might have been different from yours or mine, a
Yeah.
life of the opposite of a life of any level of privilege. But it was certainly important to see that other stuff is going on in the world, and um, it isn't always as it appears. I should have come up with something that was easier to say. The song What It's Like from Everlast. And 13 years after, Cool Mo D put a city spin in the Wild Wild West with his own version of that song. Will Smith zhuzhed it up a bit to fit the soundtrack for the big movie of the summer of 99, which was Wild Wild West. So it would have been Will Smith featuring Drew Hill and Cool Mo D on the song Wild Wild West. Great song.
It's
Great
like
song
we're
in
in the video.
1987. Great song in 1999.
It's like we're in the video.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And I said 13 years. It was 12.
Yeah.
Math.
Close enough.
That's your 90s rewind.
Thanks, Sharon. Good job.
Hey, thanks, Kel. Preach.
Yep, yep, yep. By the way,
Yeah.
we have to get a Janet mention in here. We've had so we talked last week on the show. First of all, we talked 2 weeks on the show ago about the lead up to the American Music Awards. Last week we did the postmortem.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention that I've seen so many different Instagram feeds from like different media publications or
Hmm.
media platforms. Literally, they went bananas about Janet at the AMAs. It was so great, like across the board.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people like Entertainment Tonight, E News, like Vibe, BET, like all the platforms that you could possibly think of in entertainment from all the different spectrums were just like she was amazing. She was amazing. She is an
Yeah.
icon. Like she's so great. Like it was so lovely to see all these different platforms give Janet some flowers. So good job.
Excellent indeed. You know what they should do
Yeah.
is Janet should act. They should get her on Law and Order,
Oh my
SVU.
God. She'd be great. I'm like, I wish she would do SNL again.
Yeah.
She was great on SNL. She was the best. There was a skit where she hosted in 2004, so it's been a minute.
Whoa.
But she did a skit where she was like um a fan in line to get Janet Jackson tickets. Do you remember that skit?
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
She was so like it was so funny to see her be one of her fans, like
Yeah.
trying to get tickets for her show. It was real, and then they did this thing where they did a play on words with like making wine in Italy, and she had to say cork soaker.
Oh yeah, that's the episode. Yeah, yeah. That's the standout skit, I think, for
Yeah.
I think anybody that works in rock radio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Cork soaker,
anyways,
if you're not paying attention, saying cork soaker wrong is dangerous.
so good. And last thing, this has nothing to do with Janet, although she should maybe be on the show. If you haven't watched Mobland yet,
Oh
all 10
yeah,
episodes.
baby.
Did you watch it yet?
I have the last two episodes to watch, so I've been
Okay.
saving those
Anyway,
for
so
my
yeah, the
vacation.
finale went as of our recording yesterday, and it's such a great show, eh, Sharon? Like
Yeah, I like it a lot.
legit. Like, and it's like, and this is a 90s tie-in. Pierce Brosnan is like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And it's funny because I love Helen Mirren, right? Love her. And it's funny because I told better half Elaine yesterday, I was like, I know she's doing a good job because I can't stand her like in this,
Oh yeah,
but
she's
she's she's great. So if you have a chance, Paramount Plus, please watch Mobland. It's totally worth it. So
it's very worth it. It's the kind
yeah.
of show too that I think you can see is not going to last forever,
Yep. Yep.
but
Maybe 2 or 3 seasons, I hope. But
yeah, but it's exciting
and
and
Tom Hardy is so
properly violent. I love Tom Hardy's character.
he's so great in it.
Yeah.
Like just like yeah,
It's like an Irish I find it's like an Irish Ray Donovan,
yeah, mm-hmm. Yep.
which was a great show too. But
Mm-hmm.
like the characters have their flaws and you can see how how they all kind of weave together and
Mm-hmm.
but Tom Hardy's character is amazing and the fact that Guy Ritchie is you know the force behind it too is
Yep.
not surprising when you think of the intensity and the
Yep.
well some of the violence that I've had to watch with my hands over my eyes. Is it done? Is it done?
We actually have a colleague who told me on the air that he won't watch it because it's too violent.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there was one scene in particular that I found particularly
Yeah.
one episode at least, one maybe two
Yeah.
like continuing scenes, but get through that like you
Yeah.
can because you have the power to advance the
You
show
can.
fast forward.
Yeah. But watch the show. Honestly, if you're
Yeah,
looking
it's
for
worth it.
a show for the summer, watch Mobland Paramount Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, if you were thinking, I want to see if Helen Mirren can be awful,
Yeah.
this is the show for
This is
you.
the show for you. Especially her coming off of 1923, which is also on Paramount Plus,
Yep.
and you're totally rooting for her character in that show. And this is literally the first time I've seen her because everything I see Helen Mirren, like you're always rooting for her.
Yeah,
At least with the stuff I've seen. But this is like the one show where I'm like, oh my God, I can't stand her character. But she does such a great job with it. Like it's
agreed.
bananas.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I'm done now.
All right, well, enjoy the show, everybody. What you know, we only tell you to do stuff at the end of our show so that you can pay attention to us.
Yeah.
We're needy that way, but
Yep.
thank you for fulfilling our needies.
Yeah.
And thank you for finding us wherever it is that you do and for passing it along to your pals. We appreciate that very much. Thank you for listening to 90s Now. Still happening.